You've got this dream, right? Opening your own little spot in Japan. Maybe it's a cafe, a small restaurant in a city like Osaka with its amazing food and just incredible culture. But for most of us, that dream slams right into a wall. And today, we're going to talk about how AI is completely demolishing that wall.
Yep, there it is. The single thought that stops so many brilliant ideas dead in their tracks. I don't speak Japanese. It just feels like a total non-starter, doesn't it? How are you going to write menus, post on social media, handle customer reviews? And just like that, the dream goes right back on the shelf.
And what a dream it is. I mean, we're talking about Osaka, a city that's just buzzing with energy, a food scene that is absolutely world-class, and a chance to build something that is 100% yours. It's such a beautiful picture, but it feels a million miles away when you're staring down that language barrier.
So, let's break it down. Why does it feel so impossible? Well, it turns out it's not just about the language itself. The real problem is a combination of things that all feed into each other, creating this cycle of "I can't do this."
It really comes down to this three-way barrier. First, you've got no time. You can't learn Japanese to a business-level fluency while also trying to start a business from scratch. Second, there's the fear. The fear of making a mistake, of saying the wrong thing and offending someone. It can be paralyzing. And finally, the cost. Hiring professional translators and marketing agencies for every little thing, for a startup, that's just insanely expensive. It's that combo that makes the dream feel so out of reach.
But what if I told you that entire equation has been completely flipped on its head? The game has fundamentally changed thanks to a tool that a lot of foreign business owners in Osaka are starting to use right now.
To really see how this works, let's stop talking in theories and just walk through a typical day. Let's imagine you own a small restaurant in Osaka. Your Japanese is pretty basic. You know your greetings and that's about it. Your secret weapon isn't a huge team or a massive budget. It's your AI assistant. Okay, so first thing in the morning, you need to create a new lunch menu. In the past, this would have been a total nightmare, right? Weeks of back and forth emails with a translator, spending a fortune, just a huge headache. With AI, the whole thing becomes ridiculously simple. First, you just write the menu descriptions in your own language, say English. Then, you give the AI a very specific command, and we'll get to why it's so specific in a second. Finally, you just check the result and copy it. That's it. The entire task is transformed. And this right here, this is the secret sauce. The magic is all in the prompt. You see, you're not just saying translate, you're giving it context. Natural Japanese, for a Korean restaurant, and the really crucial part, in Osaka. This tells the AI to use the kind of language that local customers in that specific city will actually connect with, not some stiff robotic translation.
And just look at the difference. I mean, the contrast here is absolutely staggering. The old way could cost you hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars, and take weeks of stressful revisions. The AI way costs $0 and takes what, maybe half an hour? This isn't just a little improvement, it's a total game changer for a small business owner. Okay, so menu's done. Let's move into the afternoon. Time for a little marketing. Now, writing social media posts that sound natural and cool in a language you don't speak fluently, that's one of the hardest things to get right. It's so easy to sound awkward.
And again, the prompt is everything. You're not just asking for a translation. You're telling the AI to create an entire Instagram post. You give it the details, a rainy day discount, the location. The AI doesn't just swap words. It actually crafts a whole marketing message with the right tone, with the right local hashtags, the whole shebang.
And the difference is just night and day. What used to be hours of agonizing over every word and probably still ending up with something that sounds a bit off is now a 10-minute job. And the best part? The result isn't just faster, it's way more effective.
All right, the restaurant's closed, but the day's not quite over. You've got Google reviews to deal with. This is so important for your reputation, but it's the one thing that almost always gets ignored because of the language barrier. So our owner copies the review, pastes it into the AI, and gives this simple prompt. The key words here are politely and natural Japanese restaurant tone. This makes sure the reply follows Japanese customer service etiquette, which, as you know, is incredibly important for building that trust and loyalty with your customers. And look at the impact this has. For so many foreign-owned businesses, the reality is that reviews just sit there unanswered, which can make it seem like the owner just doesn't care. With AI, every single review gets a thoughtful, polite reply in a couple of minutes.
You instantly change your online reputation from looking neglectful to looking super attentive and friendly.
So, we've walked through a whole day. Let's zoom out a bit. What's the bigger picture here? What has really fundamentally shifted for someone trying to start a business in Japan without speaking the language? Well, before, you needed a different expensive specialist for every piece of the puzzle, right? A translator for the language, a design agency, a marketing person. Now, AI acts like the central hub that connects all of these jobs. It's the one tool that handles the communication layer for your entire business.
Honestly, the best way to think about this isn't as some kind of complex, scary technology. It's much simpler than that. Think of AI as your newest team member. It's like having a perfectly bilingual, super reliable employee who works for you 24/7 and never calls in sick.
So when you boil it all down, your entire workflow just becomes simple. You focus on your ideas in your own language. You write, you copy, you paste, you do a quick check, and you post. That's it. All those stressful, expensive, time-consuming barriers between your vision and your Japanese customers, they're just gone.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. For decades, that language barrier has been this huge, unbreakable wall stopping thousands of incredible dreams. But now, that wall has pretty much crumbled to the ground. The question is no longer if you can do it without speaking Japanese. The only question left is, what are you going to build?